Bethany and welcome back to my channel. As you saw from the title, I am celebrating my BookTube birthday! Yay! So yesterday, April 26th, is the first video that I posted. I didn't even do the BookTube newbie tag because I didn't even know what that was. I was just started posting things without realizing what the heck I was doing or even knowing what I was getting myself into. And I started with Smutathon, my Smutathon TBR, because Smutathon was my introduction into BookTube. I didn't really know it existed. It wasn't really even on my radar, and that was my intro into BookTube. I found it through Twitter just because I was like lightly into book Twitter. Then that started my whole foray into Smutathon and getting more into that. So that ended up being my first BookTube video. And then a month later, I realized, oh, the BookTube newbie tag is how people start their channels. I should probably go do that. So I did, only a month later afterwards. My first video was posted on April 26th. That's what I'm going as. So this is posting on the 27th. I am celebrating that with the BookTube birthday book tag that was created by Average Joe Reads, and that's original tag is linked down below. And there's some questions for the tag. I thought it'd be a good way to answer some things and share some of my adventure and journey into BookTube over the last year. The first question asked is, how many years on BookTube are you celebrating? So I'm only celebrating 1, but considering it's been during a pandemic, one of the most difficult years of my life, yeah, I think bravo me. Congratulations. I think that's pretty good that I was able to stick with it for a year, and I'm giving myself that win. Next question is, what has kept you motivated to continue making videos? There has been times that it's been tough. I just told myself that as long as I kept having fun with it, that I was going to continue with it. I decided that the time it wasn't going to be fun is when I would stop. And so far, there's definitely been moments that I've had to take a step back. There's definitely been weeks where I didn't post anything, but I went back to it and kept jumping back into it. And I don't know, I think what's motivating me most is just having some really great responses, some, consistent views, as well as the community that I've found and the people that I have met so far. And that has helped keep me motivated and keep me wanting to post things, and having friends of mine, text me and say, hey, I watched your video and I saw what I read this book that you recommended. That makes my day. I love people telling me that. So that's a really great motivation as well. Well, this is a really good question. What are 3 of your favorite videos that you have made so far, and why? This was a video that I made really early on, and no one saw it because I didn't have much of a following because I didn't do the BookTube newbie tag. This was a History of My Bookshelf challenge, and I had a lot of fun doing that video. It was one of my longer videos, so I ramble a lot, but it just gave such a great snapshot of myself as a reader and what I was interested in reading and kind of the diverse reading that I was going into. It also gave kind of really great perspective of, oh, what has my reading been like over the last several years? And what has that meant to me? And yeah, it was a great video for me to film. It was one of my longer videos I did at the very beginning. I really like that video, and it's one of my lower viewed ones. So go give it some views. I'll link it up above and you can check it out for yourself. And yeah, you can see kind of what my reading was like. So it goes back in your History of Bookshelf from 2013. It gives you a look at what my favorite books were from those years on, and I don't know, it gives a really introspective and how I am as a reader overall. I thought that was a really interesting video to make, and I really enjoyed it. And most of my favorite ones kind of don't have a lot of views. The next favorite one I was going to mention was my Makeup and Books tag video. So it's really long. That video is over 30 minutes. Or not really long, but it's pretty long. It's over 30 minutes, one of my longer videos. And it has, again, low on views. I did a book look. The book look didn't turn out great though, unfortunately. But what I was so proud about that is I had over an hour and a half of footage. And it was the most difficult video I had ever edited. So I was quite proud of how I was able to trim all of that out and how I had to edit it and how I had to condense it. I like my makeup routine. Am I weird for saying that? Maybe that's a biased thing to say. I'm quite proud of my makeup routines. I was kind of happy to share that along with giving book recommendations at the same time. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And again, it didn't get a lot of reviews, so it was kind of a bummer. But I'll link that one up above too, and you can check that one out as well if you like. But I was also, like I said, also very proud of it. And that was also filmed very early on in my booktube career. Booktube career. That sounds weird. Like I'm actually making money from this. Booktube life. For my third favorite video, I don't know. That's a really good question. Now I'm trying to now I'm down on myself. I think maybe my first reading vlog, I was very proud of that one. I did that one for the Olympic Games readathon. That was my first time doing a reading vlog. I don't like filming reading vlogs, but I was very proud how that one turned out. I think I was most proud of, though, I think my favorite one was probably my vacation reading vlog when I went out of town to Palm Springs as well as Big Bear. It did really well, and I don't know why. I got a ton of views on it, but I think maybe it was just because it was tagged weird and people were watching it, but I don't think it was book people watching it. I think they accidentally stumbled on my video. So that was really confusing. But I was really proud of how that particular video came out and that I did a vacation reading vlog. And then also my guide to Gothic fiction, book guides from an English major, that started off my series, which I have several more things planned for that. I can link that one up above. When I filmed it, I had totally different idea of what direction I was going in. And then when I started kind of thinking more and more about the video and what I wanted to do with it, I kind of decided that I was going to take it in a totally different direction. And so the editing of it was very harsh because I had the footage was completely, I decided to go in a completely different direction. So my editing was kind of choppy because I cut out a lot. I was really proud that I was going to do something different with it and decided that I was, even though I felt really hesitant and kind of scared that I was going in that direction, because that was not what I had been talking about for months and months of me being booktube, by doing focusing back more on classics. So doing that for me was no, this is what I want to talk about and this is what I want to discuss. Yeah, so that was a big deal for me. It was one of my favorite videos as well. I think I'll name those three, but I'm giving a nod to my reading vlogs because those are really intimidating and I was really proud how they turned out. Question number 4 is, what have you struggled with on booktube in the past year and how did you overcome that struggle? Wow. My struggle definitely has been being consistent and editing. Editing is like my cross to bear. I hate editing so much. I don't mind transferring. I don't mind rendering. I don't even mind my captioning. I actually kind of love doing captioning, even though it's time consuming. I still enjoy it. But editing, I hate so much. I hate it. I don't know, maybe I'm just an annoying talker, or maybe I just have a really annoying speech pattern. Or maybe it's just because I was having a hard time getting comfortable with the camera for so long. But my ums and my uhs and my so's and my likes and my, I don't know, any other type of filler words that I use are so aggravating. My thought processes, I always have to really think about what I say. So I'm kind of a processor that way. So I have to think a lot when I process, or there's long pauses sometimes in my editing that I have to do. And I'm an over editor. I edit and cut so much. I'll easily cut just from my pauses and my ums and my likes. I'll end up cutting I'll do footage of a 20-minute video of footage and then I'll cut it down to 14 because I'm that much of an editor. So that, and that's on me. Obviously if I cut that much, that means that it's on me and I have to get better at the camera, which I've gotten better at the camera, as well as I've gotten faster in editing too. I've gotten used to the software that I use and I've gotten better at it and faster at it. So now it used to be a 15-minute video would take me 3 hours. No joke. It would take me a really long ass time. Now a 15-minute video could take me an hour. And then on top of, that's just editing, strictly editing, doesn't even include uploading, doesn't even include rendering or anything like that. That's just strictly editing and cutting. So I've gotten faster at it and that's great. That's awesome. I'm really happy that I've come a long way in that. And I've edited a 30-minute piece and that takes me about 2 hours, which is pretty standard. I'm counting that as a win because that it usually literally took me twice that. So that's something that I have improved at and I'm really happy for that, but it is definitely something that I have hated about booktube. And something I think I didn't realize how time consuming it was when I first started. Everything else though, I've enjoyed. I love making content. I love thinking about what to read. I love coming up with those ideas. I love reading all the things. Obviously, I enjoy that part as well. But the struggle is also to read on top of making content is also taking time away from reading. So that's kind of a struggle at times as well. Choose one moment from the past year in BookTube that you would like to relive. That's a good, interesting question. Like relive to redo, like to relive to be like, oh, that was terrible, I want to like a redo, or to relive because I like want to like bask in how amazing it was. I probably want to be less awkward on lives. So many lives. I just feel so awkward all the time. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Because I'm just like, I can't people anymore. Be less awkward on lives if I wanted to relive that. Sure, yeah, we can do that. I could say that. But also, like, there's been moments on lives that I like really enjoyed and really felt connected to people and really felt like, I mean, I've done like a handful of lives. I haven't done very many. Usually it's with the Romance Tuber on our Tuesday read-alongs, or I did it with the Romance Takeover. I did a couple of lives. If I could redo something, I definitely would have started with the BookTube newbie tag. Definitely. That goes without saying. Shout out to a huge supporter of your channel. I'm so grateful for some of the people I've been meeting through my channel. I really appreciate all that, as well as tapping more into the Bookstagram community, as well as getting more involved in the Romance Tuber community, as well as getting more involved in book Twitter. Some of my greatest supporters are just some of my own personal friends who like just happen to. So thank you, friends, for watching me. If you're watching this, I really appreciate all of you, especially the people who have like texted me and asked me about what they like about my channel or what they're reading. I really appreciate that. One of my biggest supporters is my cousin who has sent me bookmarks, which I really appreciate, as well as she has sent me pepper spray for when I go walking with my audiobook. She cares about my safety, which I also really, really appreciate, and that was very thoughtful and sweet. So shout out to my friends and my cousin. They know who they are. As far as other booktubers, Heather from HEA Booktubes, who started at the same time as I did. Her booktube birthday was just maybe like last week or 2 weeks ago. Has been really great and really supportive. Happy for Now books. Izzy's been really supportive. She's like does all the romance booktuber live. She organizes a lot of the live stuff and on the Discord group that I'm on, and I really appreciate her support. I also think I should thank Jen from the Book Refuge. She actually promoted me a while ago on Bookstagram, and then that kind of opened me to the romance booktuber community. So I really thank her for that, because I don't know if she hadn't tagged me or found me, I don't know if I would be connected to the romance booktuber community like I have been. So that's been really a positive thing as well. Those are the ones that I can think of right on the top of my head, but just also anyone who comments just makes my day. Like really, I just always appreciate a comment. I appreciate a like. I appreciate anyone who retweets or shares my stuff. Just anyone who does that for me is a huge supporter in my mind, and I thank you so much for supporting me that way and contributing. I love the interaction. Thank you. So anyone who I might have forgotten who's done that, which there's been many of you, I just know that I appreciate you. But what's the best book you've read in the past year? I mean, I did my best of 2020, which I can link up above, and you can see what my best of 2020 is. Of course, now it asked me this question. I'm like, I don't know what best book have I read this last year. I want to say the best book I have read due to BookTube. Why don't we do that? I think The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, and I would not have found out about except through BookTube. So that is something that has been was a BookTube favorite that I have since read myself, as well as informed many other readers about it who have now also. I told this one bookseller at Barnes and Noble, and she recommends it to like every person who comes to the store, which I love that. I love that for me that she took my recommendation and loved the book and then has recommended to so many people so far. So there's something really great about that. I definitely think Smuttathon has exposed me to all sorts of things BookTube too. Katie Robert, who's a very big romance booktuber favorite, I have started reading because of BookTube, because of Smuttathon, and so many other books that I have found through booktubers who have read it, and yeah, there's been so many. The best one, though, like I said, I think I'm just going off booktube recommendations. The House of Lucy, which one of the first booktubers I saw who read that was Riley Marie Reads. So Ice Planet Barbarians, that, I don't know if it was the best book, but I will say that I was exposed to because of the booktuber community. So yeah, there's so many. There's so many that I would not have read on my own probably if I hadn't found the booktuber community. So I love that for me. And yes, I don't know if I would say those are the best books, but I'm just saying these are the books that I've read because of booktube and have meant a lot to me and were a lot of fun, and or I have enjoyed, and or they're now favorites. So yeah. Next question is, where do you see your channel in a year's time, and what do you hope to have achieved? Well, I hope that, like, I don't know, I even get better at editing. There's so many things that I want to do or add. Like, so many people add, like, GIFs. So many people add, like, other snapshots of things. So many people do, like, really fun things with editing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do any of that. I don't even know where to start. And I don't know if I want to go that advanced, or maybe I do. I don't know. It just seems like something fun to do when I'm editing or when I'm thinking of things. I think of GIFs, or I think of, like, snapshots that like fit what I'm trying to do or what joke I'm trying to pull, and it doesn't come across that well. But then I don't know how to add it, or just emojis. How do I do emojis? I don't know how to add those because I do these editings on my laptop, so I don't have these on my emojis on my phone. I don't know how to add emojis on my laptop. I had to figure out how I would add those to my videos. I don't know. Can anyone give me advice? I would hope that it continues to grow, that I continue to grow my channel, that I continue to grow as a creator, that I continue to have growth and hopefully have more subscribers, as well as get more involved in the community and make more friends in the community and discover booktubers I haven't discovered yet. So yeah, all those things are things that I have goals for myself. And again, I'm just going to keep doing this until I know it's no longer fun. And so far, over the last year at least, it's still been a lot of fun for me. I think what I've been doing the last few years since I graduated, which I mean, that was a long time ago that I graduated, but I think I've been just survival reading for so long. I was so tired after graduating school because, I don't know, college is hard. And as much as I love my English major, it was tough. And then I went back to school for sign language, which is a whole other story. And I was just survival reading for so long. And I think creating my channel weirdly has helped me consciously really be aware of what I was reading and pick up books that were really interesting to me, as well as pick diversely, as well as pick things that were relevant and are talked about and what I hear about and talked about in the community that make me interested. And just, yeah, it just has helped me consciously pick my books much more awarely. And I've enjoyed that journey for me as well and continue to grow in that for me. I love that. I love that journey for me as a reader, as a lifelong reader who devoted herself entirely to reading for pretty much basically my whole life. And then I feel like the last 10 years has just kind of been reading to survive because I can't live without stories, but at the same time, not picking things as consciously as I do now, and not having a place to really talk about it with anyone. So it's great to actually talk about it. And doing that has also made me really consider my opinions of what I read too. So yes, all good things. I love this journey for me, and I'm going to continue to grow in that journey, and I love that aspect of it. Tag someone whose anniversary is coming up. I don't really know if anyone's anniversary. I know, like I said, Heather from HEA BookTube, we shared a very similar one because hers was just a couple weeks ago. But I don't know who shares an anniversary after me. So if it's your BookTube birthday, consider yourself tagged. I don't usually tag anybody in my tag videos anyway. So have fun. And that's it for my BookTube birthday tag. Thank you so much for watching and for being here and or subscribing and or watching. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much. I hope that my next BookTube birthday will be just as joyous and fun. If you like what you saw and want to see more bookish things from me, please subscribe and hit likes and bells. I would really appreciate it, as well as you can follow me down below on all the social medias and see me on all the things. I actually have some fun things for Instagram planned, so you can check those out as well, and hopefully I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!